Hey, hey, and welcome back to Miss Kitty's Wild West Adventures. Today we're stepping into the dusty boots of Hollywood legends at the iconic Mescal Movie Set, where the spirit of the Old West still rides tall. And in a heartfelt tribute, we'll honor the late great Val Kilmer, whose portrayal of Doc Holliday in Tombstone remains etched in cinematic history. Nestled in southern Arizona, the Mescal Movie Set has been a silent star in the backdrop of Western cinema for over 7 decades. Its story began in 1950 with Winchester 73, where the rugged landscapes of Mescal provided the perfect canvas for sweeping panoramic shots, setting the tone for countless westerns to follow. But it was in 1968 that Mescal truly transformed. Built for the film Monty Walsh, starring Lee Marvin and Jack Palance, the physical set evolved into a full-fledged frontier town. Since then, over 100 productions have utilized its dusty streets and authentic facades, including classics like The Outlaw Josey Wales, Quick and the Dead, and my personal favorite, Tombstone. Legends of the silver screen like Clint Eastwood, Sam Elliott, and Sharon Stone have all walked these very streets, bringing tales of the Old West to life. This humble barn has played a supporting role in some legendary westerns. It was featured in 1980's Tom Horn, where the dusty, authentic Mescal backdrop gave Steve McQueen's final western a rugged, lived-in feel. Years later, the same structure was cleverly redressed with a false front to become the Birdcage Theater in 1993's Tombstone, blending seamlessly into the bustling streets of that iconic gunfight town. It's a perfect example of how Western sets are reused and reimagined to bring the frontier back to life time and time again. Here stands the building that transformed into Dyer Jenkins' dry goods store in The Outlaw Josey Wales. In one of the film's most memorable moments, Clint Eastwood's Josey Wales confronts a pair of bounty hunters here, delivering the iconic line, "Are you going to pull those pistols or whistle Dixie?" Structure nestled within the Mescal Movie Set has witnessed countless tales of frontier justice, embodying the rugged spirit of the Wild West. This same building, so unassuming on the outside, took on a whole new identity in The Quick and the Dead. Step inside, and you're standing in the gun shop, where Gene Hackman's character sizes up the weapons and the competition. It's the very scene where a cocky Leonardo DiCaprio shows off, Russell Crowe keeps his cool, and Hackman reminds everyone who's really in charge. One room, 3 legends, and a whole lot of aficionados might recognize this place. It's the set that became the Oriental Saloon in Tombstone. It's where Kurt Russell, playing Wyatt Earp, took control, and where Billy Bob Thornton got his attitude adjusted.
You nerve-wracking sons of bitches. Something on your mind?
Just want to let you know you're sitting in my chair.
The saloon may be quiet today, but that scene still echoes through its walls, letter by letter. As I walk toward the OK Corral, it's hard not to feel the weight of legend pressing down with every step. This isn't just a movie set. It's where Hollywood staged one of the most iconic shootouts in Western cinema. Kurt Russell, Sam Elliott, and Bill Paxton squared off right here alongside Val Kilmer, turning this dusty stretch between the adobe walls into pure movie magic. Step through that gap, and you're stepping into cinematic history.
We're here to disarm you. Throw up your hands. Oh, not what I want.
Now let's play a little game of then and now. These stills I captured at Mescal match up with scenes straight out of Tombstone. See how many you can recognize before the dust settles.
Why, Johnny Tyler!
Doc?
Where you going with that shotgun?
Well.
While this special event honored the incredible legacy of Val Kilmer, it was also a chance to meet the legends, the stunt performers, actors, and extras who helped bring the West to life on screen. These folks don't just talk about history, they lived it. About 4 times a year, right here in Mescal, the legends get together to regale their fans of stories from the set. If you've ever wanted to walk in the footsteps of your favorite Westerns and meet the people who made them, there's no better place. Let's hear from some of the legends themselves.
I'm here with the producer of Tombstone. So can you tell us something memorable that happened on set?
Stuff that your general audience can
Sure,
hear?
yeah.
Something that your more adult audience can hear?
I'm more adult, it'd be fine, yeah.
Well, let's see. My classic story, and I don't know if they told it to you on tour, is, this building wasn't here before when we were doing it, but we pulled a building at the end of the street, mainly to block the camp where all of our trailers were. And George Cosmatos, the director, said, Bob, I think that building should be on fire. And I went, of course it should be on fire. Absolutely. And he said, so they're walking to the OK Corral, and they're walking out of this burning building. And I said, well, okay, but you got to have firemen, and somebody's got to be dealing with the fire. They just can't ignore them. Oh yeah, fine. So we put guys in with a bucket parade, and I think it was Bill Paxton, or maybe it was Sam Elliott, sort of takes a look over there and goes, yeah, they got the fire under control. And they walk down and end up at the OK Corral. My boss, the guy who financed the picture, saw that and very nearly fired me. Very nearly fired me. Where's that in the script? We were way behind schedule, way over budget. Where's that in the script, Bob? I said, it's not in the script. Bob, they should be fighting the fire. I said, Andy, they're policemen. They're not firemen. There's firemen fighting the fire. They're going to go deal with policeman stuff. You are this close. Just if you want to come home today, just get on the plane. Okay, Andy, thanks. Hung up. I thought, man, that's it. I'm done. About 3 weeks later, he didn't talk to me for days at all. Very unusual, because we usually talk 10 times a day. Didn't talk to me for days. About 2 weeks later, the Disney studio sends me the proofs for the poster. Find the poster. Guess what they used for the shot?
The fire.
The four guys walking with the burning building behind them.
Oh, yeah.
And there it is.
Yeah.
That's the burning building behind them. So that's the story of Tombstone.
Did he apologize?
No.
Say you were right?
No, I worked with him. That was in '93. He died in 2019. God love him. He was a great man. For the next 26 years, I worked with him 6 times on 6 different productions. I ran his company. He never referred to it again. And neither did I. That was Andy Vanya. God rest him.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay.
That was great. All right, so tell us about yourself.
Oh, I was born and raised here in Arizona. Been here last 70 years. Worked a lot of films out here. We did, 3 years of Young Writers, which is a series. I worked 19 episodes of that. Okay. Died in every episode. 2 or 3 times.
You look quite good for a dead man.
Yeah. We did a film out here called Desperado with Alex MacArthur. I was one of the bad guys that were running around the country looking for him, like a gang of, well, we were a posse actually.
Okay.
Did Lightning Jack with the Crocodile Dundee fella.
Yeah.
And gosh, it just goes on and on.
Any memorable things? Any specific events from out here in Mescal?
All of them. We did a film called Posse with, don't remember the fella's name. I don't remember his name. But anyway, we had a Gatling gun set up in a wagon, and he's supposed to run and jump over the wagon with a horse.
Okay.
Right? That was pretty good. But the way they did it is they had a horse that was there with a man on it, and that horse was trained to let 2 men get on it.
Okay.
So he runs up and jumps on him, fights him, throws him off. Then he runs towards the wagon. Me and another guy in the wagon, I'm loading the magazine into it, and the other guy's cranking it. And then he jumps over the wagon, and that's a horse trained to jump.
Okay.
Different horse, painted up to look the same. And then it hits the ground, and then it falls. And he gets up, starts the gunfight, shooting it out. The horse that falls is a different horse, trained to fall down.
Oh, interesting.
So there were 3 different horses in that little 8-second scene.
But all playing the same horse.
All the same horse, all looked the same. You know, they all had the same white face. If you see it, it's called Posse with, I don't remember the guy's name.
We'll look it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it was a good film.
That's great. Thank you. And what was your name?
I'm Robin Wayne.
Robin Wayne. Okay. Thank
Yes.
you. Awesome. Appreciate
I was
it.
a stunt coordinator out at Old Tucson for a while. I started there in 81. I worked till 89. A couple of us were. Ed Adams over here was the stunt coordinator when I started.
Okay.
Then when he left, I moved into that position of stunt coordinator. So we had access to a lot of films that came through doing stunts, and just being in the right place at the right time pays off a lot of times.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome.
We did an awful lot of films. Did a fight scene with Bruce Boxleitner, and one of our, James Arnez, retired from Gunsmoke. He started doing one film a year, and it would be a feature 2-hour film for television. And I worked the very first one. And in that first one, I do a fight scene with Bruce Boxleitner in a little cantina. We're playing poker, and he's winning, and we don't like it. So we get in a big fight over it. But if you ever happen to see that one, I'm the one fighting him in the cantina, and he drags me across the room, sticks my face to the little potbelly stove.
And what was the name again?
It's a Gunsmoke.
Okay. Oh, one of
The
the
very
episodes.
first one.
Gotcha. Okay.
They were making a 2-hour special for television
Okay.
after he retired from the series. So
Great.
I think Ed worked 3 of them.
Okay.
This is Ed.
Ed right here. All right. Thank you.
Hey, Ed. Ed's with a ton of films.
Hi, you're Ed.
Yes.
I'm Kimberly with Miss Kitty's Wild West Adventures.
Kimberly.
Nice to
Nice
meet
to meet
you.
you.
We were just interviewing him here about
Nice.
the life and times of
days.
being in the movies and everything. So, do you have any really cool stories from the sets or anything?
Oh, I mean, there's so many stories out there, you know. We were just talking to Jeff. You see, did you mention Jeff?
No, I didn't mention Jeff.
So Jeff, we just came over. He played the youngest brother in the Sacketts with Tom Selleck and Sam Elliott.
Okay.
And we did a movie called Buckeye and Blue.
Buckeye and Blue,
And so
okay.
he just happened to be visiting, came out and saw the set, and here we are, known each other
Just kind of ran into each other.
30 years ago. I just showed him pictures of him back 30 years ago in the movie Buckeye and
Did
Blue.
he recognize himself?
No, none of us recognize ourselves. They have to give us pictures so we can recognize ourselves. But yeah, there's lots of this out here. I remember many times riding up and down the street, 112 degrees in a wool cavalry outfit. I fell off the street on a Young Riders episode, and I was dead on a horse and had to fall off and hit the ground. So as soon as I did, of course, I hurt my shoulder because you can't put your hands down. And then I had to do it 3 more times to make it because it fell out of frame. And let's do it 1 more time for safety. But
Right. Oh, wow.
we still get around, walk around.
That's
We
great.
got blown off horses.
Yep. Right in the canyon back here, we both got blown off on the Desperado episode of Alex MacArthur.
Oh, wow.
Got blown off horses in a canyon.
Now, are you all here because of the Val Kilmer tribute, or do you come out here and do these often?
I live in Carlsbad, California now, so about every 3 or 4 months, I have a house here, so I'll come out and check on it. And whenever I do, I call Robin because we're good friends from the 70s, and then they'll say, well, if you're going to be around, let's do a Legends event, and it gives people who want to come out and see the set rather than just looking at buildings, gives them a chance, as you see, to come and talk to guys. They call us the Legends of Mescal because I think I did 16 films out here, and Robin did about the same.
Okay.
So we just like to come out and give back to the people who were true fans, because you don't come out here and go through this unless you're a true Western
Right.
fan.
Yeah. Well, we picked a good weekend to come out here. Then this is great. This is great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Let me give you. It's Miss Kitty here with Lynn Steele and Cliff Owens from the movies. And Lynn, what have you been in?
Last Hard Man, The Villains, September Gun, Poker Alice.
Hard to remember all of them, huh?
It is.
How about you, Cliff?
A little bit of everything. Tom Horn, The Last Hard Man, How the West Has Won, Season 3, The Incredible Rocky Mountain Race. It's a long list.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, both of you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm here with Emily Blandon, who was in a number of movies, including Tombstone, and she's going to tell us a story from her time on Tombstone.
It's kind of an embarrassing story, but it's a true story. I was selected as one of the girls to be in bed with the cowboy that was going to be shot during the vendetta scene. So anyways, I didn't really know all of what I was going to be doing. I just knew that my agent told me that I would better be there for the audition. And I was already out here because I stood in for Dana and I stood in for Joanna. So I was their stand-in, so I was always out on the set anyways. And that's probably why they chose me, because the director knew me, and he's like, "Oh, you can, Emily, you can be one of them or whatever." So, anyways, I was lucky. I don't know if you call it luck, but it helped me get my legend status out here. But anyways, they said, "You need to get to wardrobe immediately. We need you to get out there right now because they're going to be doing that scene next." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So I ran to the wardrobe trailer. I asked for my wardrobe. They handed me a bathrobe and a G-string. I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" So I ran into the bathroom. I removed my clothing. I put it on. I put the bathrobe back on. Made sure I had stuff put back in my bag, go running out to the set, and Val Kilmer and Buck Taylor are standing out there and they're talking about the scene. So of course I join in and they're giving me tips on what I should be doing and not doing and stuff, because we all worked together as a team when we were doing the different scenes. So they called them in for initial blocking, and I looked down, and when I looked down, my bathrobe was only about this long, and I was wearing boots that came up to here, and sitting right on top of my boots was the underwear I had been wearing all day long, which was like embarrassing. So I looked around to see if anybody noticed. So I grabbed them and I pulled them off and I put them in my pocket really quick. So then when I get into the room, they put me on the bed. They said, "Okay, you need to kneel right here." I'm like, "Okay." So I kneeled and I pulled the covers up and around my legs and my waist and everything. And then they took my bathrobe away and I was like, "Oh." And so I looked on the bed and I saw a handkerchief and I'm like, "Oh, this is my move." I grabbed that handkerchief and I covered myself up.
Nobody move. Nonsense. By all means, move.
So when the movie actually came out, you don't see anything but just about this far down, because I went like that, and when I did that, my fat arm covered up my,
You know what you mean.
my thingy. Can I call it that? I don't know. Is this X-rated? So anyways, it was fun, and the fact that so many people remember that little tiny scene that if you close your eyes and you miss it, but I guess it made an impact, and so they made me a legend out here, and so I feel very grateful for that.
Thank you.
And we get to see our old friends out here and talk about the good old days, and it's nice to be able to share that with everybody out here.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. That was great.
Thank you, Miss
It was
Kennedy.
great to meet you.
It was nice meeting you as well.
Thank you.
Adios. Y'all come back now.
All right, I'm here with Frank Noel, and he's going to tell us some stories about when he was on the other side of the law.
Yeah, well, I worked on the television series Centennial, which was a mini-series back in the late 70s, early 80s. It was a James A. Michener book that ran for about 26 hours, and anybody that was anybody in Hollywood was in that movie. So, but anyway, the sheriff was played by Brian Keith, and the Pettit boys brought me into town to assassinate the sheriff, and I was a character called Roy Pierce. And Roy Pierce ambushed the sheriff from the top of the general store, and in the meantime, while I was ambushing him, he got off a shot and hit me, and I fell off the top of the general store. And then Sheriff Dumeier died a couple of days later because he had some dialogue to do with the young boy who was his friend in the movie. But anyway, that's my claim to fame, is killing Brian Keith or Sheriff Dumeier in Centennial. And my name is Frank Noel.
So you shot the sheriff.
I did.
Did you shoot the deputy?
There was no the deputy was a young boy, sort of, but no, I didn't get to shoot the deputy.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you. I'm here with Mark Sankey here in Mescal Movie Set. Mark, how long have you been here?
4 years.
4 years. And do you have any great stories or anything exciting you want to tell us?
Well, when we got here, the place was a mess, and we're slowly cleaning it up, as you see and such. And we have gotten some movies back, and we've getting her rebuilt and getting her back on its feet. We've had some known actors on set. I like to tell the story of we had a movie called Farhaven come on set, and there was a gentleman standing in the street right where Marshall White got shot in Tombstone. Now, Marshall White was Harry Carey Jr., as you remember. Yeah. This gentleman looked just like Harry Carey Jr. And I walked up to him and I said, "You look like Harry Carey Jr. In fact, this is where he got shot," and we laughed. And we just talked about the set for a couple minutes. 2 days later, somebody says, "You know who that is?" And I said, "No, I don't know who it is. That's Donnie Most." I said, "Well, who's Donnie Most?" "That's Ralph Mouth from Happy Days." All right. Well, we remember Ralph Mouth as Ralph Mouth from Happy Days, and he was 20-something. Well, now he's my age. He looks a little bit different. So sometimes you just never know who walks up on set.
Oh, that's great.
Today was exciting, and I don't know if you caught it, but if you ever saw the movie The Sacketts, okay, you remember Tom Selleck was a brother?
Yep.
Sam Elliott was a brother. The third brother, Jeff Osterhage, walked on set today.
Oh, that's awesome.
Unannounced.
Wow.
We didn't know. He was in the area. He came in, and it was quite a thrill to have one of the
great.
Sacketts
That's
here
neat.
on set.
That's neat. Do you get people, stars like that, just coming around like?
Not often. Michael Bean, the Johnny Ringo, called the phone one time and said he was down at the gate, and the gate was locked, and one of our guys, Paul, was able to go down and let him in, and he just hung out with the guys for a couple hours.
Wow.
I unfortunately wasn't there.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
great. Well, thank you again for letting us come out and tour
Glad
and
to have you.
film for you too. We really appreciate
Okay,
it. Thank you. Take care. So I am here with Ed, and this coat that I'm wearing was the actual coat worn by Val Kilmer right before the OK Corral scene. He throws it off, and then he engages in gun battle. And this is a replica gun from the gunfight at the OK Corral scene.
We're here to disarm you. Throw up your hands. Oh, not what I want.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Miss Kitty's Wild West Adventures. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and ding the bell for notifications. In the meantime, I'll catch you on down the trail.
See you down the road.
All right.